to another Vibrant Lady Talk series. And today on the show, we're going to be discussing something that our mothers taught us from the very beginning of our very teenage ages. I mean, it's been a long-standing topic that I feel that we need to bring it back to the present generation. I have a sexual purity coach to talk to us about virginity. When did you lose yours? How did you lose yours? Are you keeping yours for your husband or are you keeping yours for yourself? Whatever is the reason, I think we should have this conversation tonight. And I felt that Mrs. Uchechi Awunta is the best person to do this topic for us because she is a certified sexual purity coach. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Oh well, is it a long time?
Yeah.
And welcome to the Fat Club. Okay, so in a world where people are already sexually exposed at a very young age, how can your initiative as a sexual purity coach come in at this point?
Okay, there's a saying that we should always catch them young.
Okay.
I go to schools, where they are teenagers to talk to them about sexual purity because I know it's one of the best decisions that are going to take in life. Considering the generation will find ourselves and society will find ourselves. Like sex is something they now throw on the streets. But I know that one's virginity shows a level of respect for the person. So respect, like the respect you get in the society, not just like the husband thing or something. This virginity thing, if you keep yourself as a virgin, there's so many advantages and we're going to talk about them. So I want the younger generation to know that this thing is possible. Because what we are seeing now, it's like, it's something that is not possible. Because even somebody 12 years, they're already this virgin. And if you don't go to the teenagers and talk to them, they will think that it's an impossible case. So my teaching is going to help to encourage them and teach them. There's something about having someone that is like you or somebody to talk to, because this whole sexual thing, sexual purity thing, if you are misled, if you have the wrong environment or wrong association around you, you can be misled. So you need the right person. So my teaching is going to help to groom both females and males into keeping their virginity till marriage. Let me use that.
Okay, so if you finish teaching and then there are friends who are probably I don't want to use the word wayward, but you know what schools are, what environments are. You teach and then someone comes to reteach and tell them, no, it's not supposed to be this way. How is this teaching going to be unidirectional at the end of the day?
Well, everybody struggles in different fields. Honestly, we've had a lot of struggles because it's not just about the school thing. I have young teenagers that I mentor. So you find out that most times when you're mentoring someone or you're coaching someone or you're trying to show the person the right path, along the line it's like the person goes the wrong way. But you don't just have to throw the person away. You have to bring back the person. We'll just have to keep making efforts. We'll have to keep making efforts no matter how difficult it is. Honestly, even in the university, they're going to meet the other side.
University is far.
Okay, yes, secondary school, yes.
And we're only leaving primary school out of it because primary school, most of the parents they still keep them in check. But I'm telling you that as early as JS2, some girls are already both girls and boys, they're already,
Oh, well, I think that when it comes to the early stage, like secondary school, I think the parents have a little role to play. Because what they say, train up a child in the way it should go. If every parent could teach sexual purity from a tender age, I think it will help us, it will help the society. At least before they get to the university. So parents have a role to play in this whole thing from a tender age. Why I said that parents play a role in this virginity thing, I remember when my mom and my dad had an argument. Couples, they argue.
Of course.
And I'm always going to eavesdrop whenever they have these arguments. So my dad was shouting, my mom was shouting, and I was somewhere around, close to the door, listening to them. Then my mom said something. She said, "You know how I came into your house." I don't know what the argument was all about. I think maybe my dad didn't want her to talk to a certain neighbor, And he was like, anytime I come back, you're always talking to this man. You can imagine. and then my mom said, you know how I came to your house? And my dad kept quiet. So my mother being a virgin, kind of, when she got married, encouraged me. And even the family where I come from, they always teach us. My mom always says that. I remember when I started seeing my message, she said, if you go close to a man, you're going to get pregnant.
Yeah.
You're going to get pregnant. Don't go close to a man. In fact, we couldn't even talk about...
But that gave you the fear of not getting pregnant, not necessarily to keep your virginity.
Well, I'm getting to that point.
Okay.
We couldn't even talk about boyfriends because it was prohibited. Like, this is not the age. You don't have to discuss about sex at a tender age. So I knew that, let's say, at that point, I was waiting for a particular age to have sex, because from the training I had from the house, then it was as if like this is not the right age. That's how I was trained. You get to a certain age. That's what my mom she didn't really paint the virginity thing, but how I knew that she was a virgin was the arguments I heard from my dad. So at the early stage, I just made up my mind that I was going to keep myself for my husband because of the respect my mom got. But later on, it was the fear of God that helped me. So parents have a role to play. That's where I'm going to at the tender age. Because if you're not watching your child, if you're not teaching your child, of course, no matter how we go to schools and talk to them, they have wrong peers around. So if you're not watching them and telling them that this is not where you should be, you can't be clubbing at a teenage age, you can't be following certain group of persons, yes, because most times these guys, they just want to experiment, they just want to practicalize, they just see it in the movies and they just want to do it, so they just look for any available girl. It's not that it's really necessarily love in secondary school, so it's just for fun. So if you're not guided, somebody will just use it and play football just to get experience.
And the world we live in kind of concentrates only on the girl. You see, well, like as we've been having this conversation, we've never really talked about the fact that a man or a boy is supposed to also keep his virginity. I think that does the man also need to keep his virginity so that he'll be respected by the woman?
This is a two-way thing. It's not just for the girl. Even men, I know men that kept their virginity.
Oh, nice.
I know men that are still keeping their virginity now. You understand? So, yes, of course, when we talk about virginity, it's like it's just on the woman.
It's not on the woman.
It's, this thing being a virgin, who is a virgin? Is someone that, has not been involved in any sexual intercourse. Insertion of penis into the vagina. So, a man that hasn't done that is also a virgin. So, it's both ways, a man and a woman. So there are men that still keep their virginity for their wives. There was a day we went for this school outreach. Okay. I think after my wedding, and I was they called me out, and then when I was introduced, they said this auntie, she just got married as a virgin. I didn't see it coming anyway, and the children, they were surprised. So when I took the microphone, I was like, why are you people surprised? Do you think it's not possible? Then I'm not like this chubby. I was still slaying. So I'm like, you see, I'm a beautiful girl. I'm beautiful and I kept my virginity and I just got married. So it's possible for you to keep yours. While I was talking, they just kept staring at me and they kept looking at me. I got their attention. So I told them, because most times I think your friends are going to tell you that they told me to, that you're stupid, that you are not beautiful, that nobody wants you, nobody wants a virgin. You're boring. Yes, that's the word. You're boring. So you need somebody that has this experience to tell you that it's possible. Actually. And I'm saying that it's possible. It's possible for a man, a woman to keep themselves as virgins. So
talking about secondary school advocacy when it comes to sexual purity, when we were in school, Tekena Coco, he usually would come around talking about sexual purity. He had this initiative, Single But Not Stupid. And I think when we were in school and connected to SU then, it really played a pivotal role in our sexual lives. So, but right about now, we do not have such initiatives. Is that what you're actually still doing?
Well, this thing is a personal sacrifice. I made up my mind that I have to help to groom my younger generation, because I want people to achieve what I was able to achieve.
So for you, keeping your virginity till marriage was an achievement?
Well...
Or it just happened?
will I say it didn't just happen because, like, I think I said earlier that what I heard between my mom actually made me to say, okay, I'm going to keep my virginity till married, and then God helping me. You understand? So it didn't just happen. Something, because I went through a lot of heartbreak. So it didn't just happen. If I wanted to, I would have. I went through hell. A lot of guys broke my heart. So yeah, that's it. If you want to keep your virginity, just get ready, because it's something you have to choose. Like, two things you have to choose. A lot of guys broke my heart, but I made up my mind that no matter what, I'm going to keep it. When I was like about 25, 26, I'm like, I've kept it this long, so why should I just lose it? So it's just it. I made up my mind that this is what, if you don't make up your mind, you may fall by the wayside, just like the Bible says. But I made up my mind that I'm going to keep it for my husband.
So in a world where young people are being taught that nobody will love you, they're going, what are those things that they can hold on to? You know, in a society where, I mean, sex is thrown on the streets, thrown at you, a child will pick up a phone. I mean, there are sexual contents here and there. How can a young person keep up?
Actually, I would say sex is not really love. Sex is not really love, because you can get it everywhere. Like, it's everywhere on the street. When someone loves you, he loves you. So sex is not love. If someone loves you, he will make extra effort to show that he loves you.
So what's the connection? So it's for them not to be deceived about it in the first place, right?
Of course, there's something about having a knowledge about something. The Bible says, I don't want to be saying the Bible, so it doesn't look like
if that's your
you
foundation,
understand.
I mean,
but it said, my people perish for lack of knowledge. When you don't have the right knowledge, you can be misled. So while growing up, you have to help yourself. If this is what you want, help yourself. Avoid, like me, I avoided clubbing, because I don't want to go to the club and I will get high and one guy will come and do something to me. So I avoided any environment that will put me at risk. I don't take alcohol because I don't want to drink it and I will not remember where I am. You understand? So there were things. I made personal efforts. I lived a cool life, but
You're a hot girl now.
Yes, of course. I was a hot girl then.
Yeah.
Like, most persons don't even know. Virginity is not something you just come to the internet and start talking
I'm
about.
a virgin.
Exactly. Like, I saw a post where a teenager said she got a certificate. And I saw it on social media that she got a certificate and she said it's a virginity certificate. And I'm like, is she stupid? Because most times people don't even like this thing. People are not happy for you. You know something? Like, honestly, nobody knew in my family that I was one. They just knew that at the point I was doing this pre-coco thing, you understand? But I didn't even tell my family members. It's not like I'm saying that I don't trust them. My friends didn't know about it.
But for you,
I was living my normal life, but I made my decision that this is what I want. I can't tell a guy that, see, this is what I want. Although I had boyfriends, then. When I didn't do boyfriend in secondary school and all that. When I got to university, I had a boyfriend.
People used to kiss.
Yes.
People used to cuddle.
Calm down now. Yes, we used to kiss, and initially I was saying I don't want sex, but we used to kiss. Like, I'll kiss a guy, my lips would be like, it would hurt like that. So
Aww.
I would kiss a guy. At some point we're touching ourselves, yes, but when I became born again, I was religious. No, this born again thing is very strong. People don't like it, but that's the truth. When I now got a personal relationship about Christ, I now remove the kissing and the touching side, and that was where I started struggling so much, because it's easy for a guy to say, okay, you don't want sex, okay, but we can kiss, we can touch.
And then one thing will now lead to another.
Exactly. At those points, when I'm kissing, and I was very careful because this is what I want, and the guys mistakenly goes down, I will drop part of it because this is a decision I've taken. I don't want you to even come close to that place, you understand? So, but at the later part, when I became born again, I now remove the kissing, the touching, so it was difficult for me. I'll meet a guy, we are flowing, and I'm like, oh, I don't want sex, and they ask me, are you a virgin? And I say no. Because I can't tell you that I'm a virgin. You may fake the love and you want to do something to me, or you may just fake it because I'm a virgin. So when they say, are you a virgin? I'm like, no. And the guy is like, so why would I have sex with you? I'm not interested. You won't believe, there's a guy that we agreed to date today. The next day, the guy broke up with me because he found out that, oh, there's no sex. Sometimes I'll be like, okay, let me just calm down and just be in the relationship. Maybe because I like the guy. When it gets to that point, we know how to cross the road or whatever, the bridge. And then I kept getting heartbreak. So it's better for me to tell you from the onset that, guy, I'm not interested in this thing. I don't want sex. I don't even want kissing. I don't want touching. If you love me, you wait for me. And that's the right thing.
And
you can't take away God. You can't take away God from me.
Most of them didn't.
I said they didn't wait now. I went through a lot of heartbreaks. I went through a lot. Like, I literally lost like 5 years relationship.
5 years. So your definition of virginity is the penetration, right?
Well, I won't really, let's say from the dictionary, yes. If you check where virgin is, someone that has not been involved in sexual intercourse.
Okay.
Yet, that was my understanding of who a virgin was.
Okay,
like
so
I said,
it's more like you can enjoy this part.
No, that's not what sexual purity is. Let's try and balance it.
Okay.
That was what I was doing before, like earlier. I have a boyfriend, I will kiss the guy, maybe he will touch my breast and all that, but there's no penetration. But when I had an understanding of what sexual purity is, I had to stop all that. And I'm like, it's either you love me, no sex, no touching, no nothing till marriage.
Okay, so basically now,
why it's very risky to allow a guy to touch you, kiss you. Honestly speaking, when I go out for outreaches, I tell them the honest truth. Because if you keep hiding, they might make mistakes. So I use my life, as an experience or something to talk to them.
Yeah.
It's very risky because it's not a lot of persons cannot raise that pants up. When your trouser is down, it's difficult. I've been in such situations, if not for the help of God. You understand? So if you're always encouraging a teenager, allow him to kiss you, allow him to touch you, you may have sex. So the best thing is avoid, kissing, touching, and everything.
When you're making this sound right now, is it because you want to have a personal relationship with God, or because you just want to keep it for your husband, or because you're convinced that, this is the right thing to do?
I'll say, one, because I have a personal relationship with God. I want to please God. I'm living for Him. That's it. Everyone and each of us, we're living for God. So our body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. We have to keep our body. Secondly, there are a lot of advantages to being a virgin. All these stories of pregnancy, you just avoid it. It doesn't come your way. I learned how to calculate
periods.
Yeah, this pregnancy. I learned how to calculate my menstrual cycle just for marriage, because I'm going to be living with a guy every day of my life, not as a single person. You find out that people that are always engaged in all this sexual intercourse, most of them are scared. I was with a friend some years back and we're just discussing, and then I was menstruating. I was having, a sad day, and they noticed it and like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, my messes. And she said, and some people are angry for their menstruation that came out. Me, I'm praying for my own to come out. You understand? So most girls are always praying to see their menstrual flow
because they've got
yes, they've done one thing. I don't want to say they went to commit sin, because they've done something. So one advantage is that you just sleep. Whether the menses come out or come out. When you're tired, you go come out. You understand? And trust. Let me move a bit to marriage. When you keep your virginity, your husband will trust you 100%.
Okay.
After marriage, there are a lot of guys that seize their partner's phone. I talked to my friends, guys. I was on the phone with a guy, and he's like, "Is your husband not there?" I said, "He's here." My husband was actually on the bed. He said, "Married woman, you're calling me. I don't want to holler. Your husband, what is he going to say?" I said, "My husband allows me to make my calls. He knows I have male friends. What am I going to do with them that I didn't do with them since?" You understand? So my husband has this 100% trust where I am. He knows that if he keeps me and goes anywhere, I'm not going to misbehave.
Yeah.
I will not misbehave. Respect. He respects me. His family respects me. Even my own family respects me. I remember when I called my sister after marriage and I was having a funny experience, honeymoon and all those things. And I called my sister, I was like, see this thing, this show I've not finished. This show we've not,
finalized.
We've not finalized the thing, fear and everything.
People are still running around.
I know how my sister was surprised, and that made her respect me. I can see there's a level at which she addresses and talks to me, even if she's my she's older than me. So there's this respect you get even from the society.
All right. So generally, I think that everyone should keep themselves for themselves to avoid some of the sexually transmitted diseases and issues here and there. I mean, what fun do people derive in jumping from one person to the other, sleeping from one person to the other? I think I agree with the fact that you have to keep yourself. Keep yourself is morally and decently okay. I don't know if you have last words for us.
In this generation we find ourselves, sexual purity, it's possible. That's the message. And that's what we've come to say to everybody. It's possible for you to keep yourself. Sex is not really love. So don't be deceived when a guy tells you that if you don't give in sex, that means you don't love them. No. Let's build a generation where sexual purity is possible.
All right, so do you agree that sexual purity is possible? Do you disagree? All you need to do is to drop your thoughts and opinion on the comment section, and we'll definitely dialogue from there until I come your way next week for another interesting episode on the Vibrant Lady Talk series. Stay vibrant.